Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. I'm with the host this afternoon, Michael, followed by other host Kat.
Hello.
And other host Sage.
Hi.
And we're roasting Kat's fucking bananas
absurd viewing experience
MCU viewing
of the MCU
timeline.
Yeah.
Like,
You good?
No, it's lopsided.
The wrench is behind you. We can keep talking. The other shoulder. But yeah, so I guess. Well, I would say you start, but I have to fix your mic. So
I was gonna say, what were you saying when you came in that you were? Oh, you were saying, because I was telling you to watch something, and you were like, "No, I'm watching all of MCU content right now." Yes, I'm watching all of the MCU movies, and like, I don't know if you're doing the shows as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're watching all like MCU, stuff right now for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, why don't you just watch the X-Men movies? Because I didn't know that like this would be important for this movie.
So not every single movie will be important.
Well, of course
and
not.
show,
So they're not really like they are
Is it
and
like
they aren't.
cameos?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's mostly just like small things. If anything, the X-Men, the
Well,
Fox universe matters much more.
Well, that's what
we're
I was
doing
thinking.
both. So we're doing both.
Okay, because I'm thinking like the Fox universe background would at least,
Yes.
even though that is so all over the place,
Oh,
especially
yeah,
if you're
sure
trying to
is.
follow
But I
like
have
just
also
Logan storylines.
I have also seen X-Men movies, so that's also part of my past viewing. So like, I don't know.
It's
But-
like she's trying to do what I do, but just horribly.
No,
No.
because here's the thing. She was like, I'm watching all of the MCU movies because I'd only seen Ant-Man and Guardians 1 and 3 before.
Yeah, so then I was
That's
going through the
crazy.
list, and I have actually seen a couple more.
Doctor Strange,
I'll
you said?
list what it is. But the reason why, instead of watching the ones that are important to Deadpool and Wolverine, instead of doing just those, because I have not seen
There's a lot of backlog.
Exactly. I feel like for me, it is just worth it to just watch.
Yeah, because then you have all
of
the
them.
context
Exactly.
you need.
Instead of making it even more confusing,
Right.
of just like
The
skipping around
MCU
more.
with TV shows is 45 independent projects,
Yeah.
How much?
including season 2s and stuff.
Oh, okay. I wonder how much like time it would be. You know how they say like to watch One Piece nonstop is like
Yeah.
17 days
It's
straight.
it's really not that long.
It's
Yeah.
I did it last summer, 2 summers ago.
I
Something like
remember
that.
that.
Obviously, I don't have
and I
that
know
time.
Colin does it pretty.
I
not
try and watch
often,
like
but like
one a day, one every
that's
couple
easy.
days.
Yeah.
I did kind of stop at when I hit Moon Knight again, though. Not because I dislike Moon Knight, but like
and
I
I'd
just
seen a
watched
couple
it and I was like,
episodes of
Yeah.
Moon Knight. It's just like the most random thing.
Okay.
Anyway, all right, so I'll go through and I'll tell you what I have seen.
And then so tell us what you have seen and then tell us like where you are in terms of
Yes,
because you're
okay.
not watching it in timeline, you're watching it by phases.
Yep. Okay, so what I had seen prior to starting this was Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, all of the Spider-Mans, Infinity War, Endgame, Guardians 1 and 3. No, 2. That's it. And a couple episodes of Moon Knight.
That's crazy. The fact that you watched
it's just so illogical.
Yeah.
There is no
personally-
thought, head empty
Wait, I
movie.
said Shang-Chi, right?
No, you didn't.
Okay,
And
Shang-Chi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I personally can't.
I just saw that while they were in theaters. Except Ant-Man. I watched that on my TV.
I personally can't understand going into and you saw Endgame in theaters.
Yeah, and Infinity War.
I
both.
cannot
All of
imagine
them were in theaters except for Ant-Man. That one I just rented
Like
one
you
day,
saw it,
and I
yeah.
just saw it in my house by
like
myself.
I can't imagine walking into the theaters for Infinity War or Endgame being like I have no context for what's going on. And I know there's going to be like at least 50 named characters.
Yeah, that I don't know who they. I mean, I of course know of them
because they're
So I was
within like the popular
exactly.
lexicon, but
So I
you
was
don't
like, I'll be
understand
okay.
the like importance.
and I was okay.
So what was that
it's just
experience
none of
like?
that hits as hard as it does if you've seen everything else.
What was that
Yes,
experience
of
like?
course.
Like, did you feel like you were satisfied after watching Endgame.
Yeah, I felt like I was satisfied. I still felt like it was a good movie, but I think when I get up to that point and watch it, it'll be so much more
I was
worth
gonna say,
it.
because I feel like there's certain character beats that
Yes,
happen
of course.
in those two movies
Yes.
that, like, when you have the background,
Like it's a
Wait,
culmination of
no,
20-something years of cinema.
Yes, and I know, and there are
That's
things,
more like 10, but yeah.
There are things that are happening in the movies
Yeah,
as I keep watching, because I'm watching them all with Ryan, because this was his idea to be
Right.
like, we're gonna, because I was gonna go into Deadpool and Wolverine blind.
And he already has seen
everything.
He's caught up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for some of the shows. He's
That's fair.
missing parts. Like, I don't think he's seen all of WandaVision. He hasn't seen Loki season 2, and we started Moon
should
Knight
watch
together,
season 2.
but
Loki,
haven't
Loki,
finished them.
very important. Both
Yes.
seasons, very important.
So that's
also
yes.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should watch season 2.
I think it's better than season 1.
But so this was his idea of being like, oh, you need this, and I was just gonna be like, I'm just gonna do what I do, and I'm just gonna,
My
I'm just
God.
gonna go in. But Deadpool's one of my favorite characters, and he's like, no, and he's one of both of our favorite characters.
Right.
So he was just like, no, I'm gonna help you, and
It's homework, but like
Yeah.
it's rewarding homework.
And he's like, this is going to be so much better for you, I promise. Which he did this for Spider-Man for me. But obviously that was way easier of a task.
Like
you just have to
Tom-
watch Civil War and then
No, no, no.
one
the
and
Tom
two.
Holland
No.
Spider-Man movies, or
Yes.
to watch No Way Home, you watched the Raimi trilogy and then Amazing Spider-Man
exactly.
1 and 2.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, because I hadn't seen all of the previous Spider-Mans. I had
Oh.
only seen a random couple of them.
Favorite Spider-Man.
Tom Holland.
Yeah, I think it is Tom Holland. I
Then
think
Tobey
because-
Maguire.
Then, yeah.
And then Andrew
I
Garfield.
agree, but I think it's just because I don't have any nostalgia for what did you say?
Tobey Maguire.
No.
Andrew Garfield.
Yes.
There's less nostalgia for Andrew Garfield. Tobey Maguire came first.
That's what
No,
she's saying.
yeah.
She doesn't have nostalgia for Andrew Garfield.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I think Andrew Garfield's the best out of all of them.
I know you were gonna
Really?
say that, and that's why I was trying to say I don't have any nostalgia for him,
It's
and that's
but
why.
I don't, like
Why Andrew Garfield
He
over
is-
Tom Holland, though?
because Andrew Garfield is the best portrayal of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Everyone that thinks Peter Parker is a nerd that can't pull any women is incredibly wrong. All he does is pull women in comics.
I guess that's fair.
And he has the attitude. And Peter's usually generally pretty cool, even being a nerd. And I think Andrew just brings the best personality to both characters entirely. I think he's fun and witty, and Tom Holland's wittiness is more like kid-like than it is.
I agree.
Like
But
it doesn't
I
even feel like a
liked
kid
it.
trying to be witty. It just kind of feels like a kid.
But I kind of felt like that's what it was like going for.
Well,
Because in Homecoming, isn't Peter supposed to be like 15?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like, even like it doesn't come off like it, like in a way that like he's supposed to come off like a 15-year-old trying to be cool with these witty one-liners.
Right.
It just feels like a kid doesn't know what to say, and so he's just kind of saying the stupid thing that comes to mind.
I guess that's fair. I think
Like he's trying to seem cool and like funny, unlike how people view him in school,
But,
which
like,
he
I
doesn't
like
come
his-
off that way.
Awkwardness.
I mean, it's not what I was like. I'm very happy that we actually got a kid as Peter.
right.
Like I'm very happy there was a high school actual aged Peter, unlike the 20-somethings.
Right.
But like I don't feel like he hit. Like I think he's fantastic. I think he's second to me. I just think that Andrew Garfield embodies
That's
the
fair.
entire character
I
more
think-
than the others.
Because I like Andrew Garfield as like whenever
I also just love Andrew Garfield.
as like a person, like anytime I've seen him in like interviews and stuff, like he just seems like a really great guy.
Yeah.
And I know that he's your favorite. Like we've had this conversation before, and I did like his movies, but because I had seen them way later, like I mean, when did that come out? Last year, the year before?
Oh,
No Way
what,
Home?
for No
Yeah,
Way Home?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I was like,
No,
the
no,
Garfield
not
movies came out
those.
like,
when
at least
when
10
I
years
saw,
ago.
because I saw it
No Way
right
Home
bef-
was 21.
Oh,
Didn't we see it together?
No Way Home?
Didn't you come to one? I went to see it a few times. Didn't I go see it with you?
Maybe.
I saw it like 4 times.
Maybe that's why we had the conversation.
I think
that's
so.
why you said.
No,
who
we
your
did
favorite
because
is.
you told me when we were sitting down. You were like, "Oh yeah, Ryan, maybe watch all of these."
Oh, so then yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But I think had I watched it when it came out, like he would have probably been my favorite.
Right.
But I don't know. And
For Sage to judge, since it's more her judgment. This is after rewatching them recently.
Okay.
All of them.
is that your ratings?
Yeah.
Okay, so he has Across the Spider-Verse 1, Into the Spider-Verse 2, fair. Amazing Spider-Man, No Way Home, Spider-Man 2,
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man,
And Spider-Man 3.
and Spider-Man 3.
Those Raimi movies, the dialogue is the most painful, cringy shit on the planet.
Okay, the Raimi movies, I think, for me at least, because I do have such strong nostalgia for them, for me, with the Raimi movies, like, yes, I can objectively watch them and be like, ouch.
They are painful.
But I think, one, they are definitely a product of their time. I
sure.
cannot fault
Oh,
them
sure.
for that. That's
Yeah.
not their fault.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
You were so cool though. Like when
But when I saw those as a kid, I was like, this
yeah.
is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
coolest.
Oh,
because
100%.
other superhero movies at that time, horrible.
Daredevil, how dare you?
Daredevil, Catwoman, like the Green Lantern, the first Hulk movie.
Ang Lee's Hulk.
Okay, wait.
Horrible.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Because I recently watched the first Hulk movie.
Ang Lee or the Marvel one?
I assume she means the Marvel one with what's his name
With
from Fight Club.
The one who's
What's his
not
name?
Mark Ruffalo.
well, there's 2 other Hulk movies with 2
Oh.
other main actors.
Oh.
Okay, were there a lot of like random transitions that were multiple scenes in one on one screen?
I don't think so.
Like, you ever seen a comic book page?
Yeah.
Was there ever transitions that looked like a comic book page but with moving pictures?
I don't think so.
Okay, then you did not see Ang Lee's.
No.
You saw the one that's in Marvel canon.
Yes. Because like it was
Yeah.
part of this.
It had Abomination in it.
Yes.
Um.
So that's the one I'm thinking of. I just can't think of the guy's name.
Okay.
I can't either.
It's
So-
right on the tip. I'll look it up.
When
Just keep talking.
Ryan said that we were gonna watch that, he was
Movie's
just
terrible.
like, yeah, he was just like, people hate this movie. I actually liked it. Why do people hate it so
Okay,
much?
Edward
wait,
Norton.
wait.
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton, thank you.
Why do people
Why
hate
It is
so
my
much?
least favorite. It is my bottom ranking
But why?
because it is so ungodly boring and uninteresting. I fell asleep during it 4 times.
Really?
4 times.
Like, because I've never really like cared about the Hulk that much.
What about it did you like?
Again, like I'm not a very
Did you
like,
just have
sit
fun
down and critique
And
yeah,
you
like,
just turned your brain off?
yeah, like I just watched it and then I went into it thinking like, all right, better watch a horrible movie, like, and then I was surprised. I was like, I enjoyed, like, why do people hate that so much? Because, and even Ryan said he was just like, now rewatching it, like, it's not amazing. It's not like what Marvel can do, but I also don't understand like why people hate it.
I think it's
so
because it's on
much.
the same level of quality as like Daredevil, Elektra, and Catwoman, which is like absolute bottom tier garbage.
I lied. I fell asleep twice. My review is I fell asleep twice watching this. Look, it's not bad. It's just boring.
But
The acting
wait,
is
wait,
uninteresting. Fights aren't great. CGI is fine. All in all, the movie's pretty
Okay,
unremarkable.
So I think this is why I liked it. From what I've seen of the Hulk now, so I'm up to
So Mark
Ant-Man.
Ruffalo Hulk.
Yes. So I'm up to Ant-Man. That's where I am through the phases.
That's the beginning of Phase 2, Ant-Man?
No, it's 3, isn't it? Isn't it to 3?
That is,
Or it's the end of
begin-
2
It is.
and, like-
I believe it's the end of 2 or
And
beginning
now
of
I'm
3.
at 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's where I am.
Because it's
about to be another
post-
Avengers movie.
Yeah, 'cause
Civil
the first-
War.
the
It's
first-
about to be Civil War.
Yeah, because the first Ant-Man is
Civil War
has
is
him.
Captain America. Not
The first
Avengers.
Yes, yes,
Ant-Man
sorry.
has him fighting Falcon, right?
Yeah.
Then yeah, it's after,
okay.
it's after 2
Yeah. So
because he's on the
because
Avengers.
tonight
Right.
I'm watching Civil War.
Oh, okay.
But so that's why I can't double record. I'm busy. I got stuff to do. I got a schedule. But so what I've seen of the Hulk so far, I don't really like him. Like, I just kind of feel like, I don't know if they're just like sidelining. I don't know.
So
like,
so yes, but because they don't own the rights to the Hulk.
oh, so they have to?
So if they ever make a solo Hulk movie, they have to pay Universal.
Mm-hmm.
But they can get around paying Universal as long as he's not in a solo movie.
So he. but
So they make all of his story like a C plot.
Like, you're saying that he's so boring there, but I feel like he's so boring every time he's in a fucking Marvel movie. Besides, I mean, I know you guys really enjoy fight stuff, so maybe that's where.
No, I
it's
just
not
think the
even
movie's
fight
just
stuff.
bad.
It's
Like-
that especially
boring.
like.
I thought it was interesting that he actually like had character.
Once
it.
you get into phase 3,
you guys know I like characters.
once
He
you
had
get into
character.
phase 3, I think you
Yeah.
you will like Bruce and
More?
the Hulk more.
Okay.
Because he does get a lot more screen time.
Okay.
Whereas like in phases 1 and 2, we primarily have like Bruce just moping around, and then if we do see the Hulk, it's very like Hulk smashy Hulk, no thoughts,
Yeah.
head
Yeah.
empty.
But like Edward Norton's portrayal is all just like, sorry, I can't be excited, so this is how I deliver every line.
Mark
always.
Ruffalo is at least allowed to have some
and then, like,
expression.
I
And then
think
what-
that's exactly how Mark Ruffalo is delivering. The same exact way he talked. He's so monotone as well.
I disagree.
I disagree as well.
I mean,
The most
I don't know if
interesting
it-
Edward Norton Hulk was when he was about to get laid and he was like, I can't. Sorry,
Like,
my
I
heart
don't-
rate will
dude,
go
I
higher.
love
I
the
don't
bromance
know.
between Bruce and Tony. They're just two science BFFs.
Science
There's
bros.
Science bros.
not really. I don't like Tony, to be fair. So that might be why.
I need to go.
You don't like Tony?
No,
Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark is like the like.
I don't think there's anything
The
wrong with.
pinnacle of like the
I don't
first
think
3
there's-
phases of the MCU.
I don't think there's anything wrong with Robert Downey Jr. or-
Tony Stark carried the
I-
MCU.
I-
on
Tony
his
Stark
back.
built the MCU in a
10
cave
years.
I just don't.
with a box of scraps.
I just think that Tony Stark's a horrible person. And I just
Well, I
don't
mean
like
that is
him.
kind of the
I
point
know,
of his entire
but
character
I
arc.
just don't like him
Oh my
because he
God.
sucks. Like,
Crazy.
nothing wrong. Like, he does save the world, so thank you. Like, I just don't.
He
like
sacrificed himself. He was gonna
him.
die
I
in
know,
the space.
and he's got PTSD from it. Like, thank you, but like, I don't like him. Like, I don't know.
He's a man who doesn't know how to live his life responsibly yet. He doesn't
Yeah.
understand work-life balance yet.
Listen, I have this fight all the time because that's Ryan's favorite. So I've heard it
I can
all.
understand why.
Yeah, like I know. I hear it all the time, but I just don't. Every time I gotta hear, this is the movie where he'll redeem himself. I swear you'll like him after this one.
God.
And then it's
So
always,
what were your thoughts going into Infinity War and then Endgame? If
Well, yeah, were
don't
you like, oh,
Tony
good,
Stark?
he's gone. Woo!
Like that? Were you in Infinity War? Were you like, that bitch deserved to get dusted? Why is he still here?
no, I didn't really think like too much of it.
Well, I guess you didn't know the character because you hadn't watched any of the Iron Man movies going in,
Yeah,
which is
so, like,
absolutely crazy.
yeah. Like I didn't think too much.
Iron Man 1 is like the second best Marvel movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think
Arguably first by some people. I just like Winter Soldier a lot more.
That's fair.
like I won't say he deserved it because I don't think that. My hatred is not that strong. I think it's
Bitch deserved to die.
Yeah, like I won't say that. That's too far. And I feel like I have said it many times on the podcast. about people who have deserved it. Like I won't go.
No,
that
that's
far.
valid though.
I won't go that far about Tony. I just think he sucks as a person. As a superhero, he's fine. Like he does a good job of saving the world. Like he does that. But as a person,
But he wouldn't be a good superhero unless you're Carol Danvers if he didn't care.
I like.
She's only good because she's got the muscle.
Yeah, like that's like him being kind of a shitty person is what makes him complex and interesting. Because Tony Stark is a mess.
I guess.
But Iron Man's where he like
only-
puts it together a
The
bit.
only like redeeming moment where I was like, maybe he's not that bad, was when he was with the kid.
The worst part of the Iron Man
You
3?
think that's the worst? That was the only part that I was just like, yeah, he's not that bad. But then he went back
Harley?
to kind of being shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He shows up in Endgame.
Sure does.
He's the solo like
Teen by
teen,
himself at
when they're doing like the camera pan across all the people.
I don't remember that, but I'll
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
He's it's just him alone,
like,
just
there
standing
he
there,
is.
and he's like,
Except it's so funny because I'm pretty sure the kid himself, like in real life, has to have aged like since Iron Man 3 at least 8 years?
yeah,
Yeah.
something like
Not
that.
even.
Not even.
But anyway,
Um,
in Iron Man 3, he looks like a little kid, and he
That's the
looks like
kid
a
Yeah, he goes
in-
from 7 to like 17.
Yeah.
That's the kid in what's it called? The scary movie with the house where he like travels outside his body. What's it called? What the fuck is it called? There's like a scary old lady.
Insidious.
Yes. Thank you.
He's the kid from Insidious?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Because I saw him and I'm like, why the fuck is that kid so familiar?
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't know that
He's
either.
also in something else.
But I also
too.
hate the Insidious movies, so I don't
I've
care
never
to remember
seen
them.
Insidious,
I was,
but
I was gonna say you
No.
threw out horror movie, and I was like, how the fuck?
no. But
But yeah, no, he
from the
he's-
trailers alone, like his
Oh, you
face
just
is-
remember the face.
Yeah, I was just traumatized by this kid's face.
But yeah, no, he is in.
He's in something else too that I do.
He's in Endgame in the funeral,
Um,
which is funny because no one interacts with him. He's just standing there alone.
I know,
They're
right?
Like he's not even in the Tony family. Like, cause they're all separated by like their cliques.
Yeah.
He's not even in the Tony clique.
Well, 'cause they
he's
don't
just
know
alone.
him.
Yeah.
Aw, that's extra sad. Now I'll be extra sad
Yeah, he's just standing there like.
because the one thing I
Damn.
did care about, like he's
Damn.
there. They
Yeah, he's
put
just
him
standing
in
there like, damn, he died.
Wow.
I don't think I've talked to him in 20 years, but you know.
The other person I hate, Jane. I hate Jane.
You hate Natalie Portman?
Well, not
Oh.
her as an actress, but I hate
I know.
Jane.
Well,
I find her
they-
so annoying.
I wouldn't know what was annoying. I feel like she's just a kind of nothing. But that's because
No.
they wrote a lot of the women interests pretty fucking boringly.
When I was watching her in the first Thor movie, I found her so fucking annoying.
All right, home. We have a question.
they
Me
were
and Sage have an important
What?
question
Yeah.
because we might have to throw hands.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think of Kat Denning's character?
It's
Darcy,
her character.
like,
Darcy,
in
yeah,
it's
Darcy.
her character in every single thing she's
Doesn't
in
matter.
ever.
What do you think of her?
She
Regardless
plays
of
it well.
typecasting.
It's-
Yeah.
Do you
it's-
like Darcy, yes or no?
I like her in anything she's in. I like that
All right.
Okay.
character.
All right. We don't
That's the
gotta
same-
throw hands.
Okay.
We are Darcy supremacists
Okay.
in this
It's
house.
We're
the same
Darcy
character she's in
supporters.
everything. But yeah, I like.
Yeah.
We are
her.
pro Darcy.
Okay.
We are pro Darcy here.
No, I wanted him to be with what's her Lady Sif? Is that her
Oh,
name?
Lady Sif.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
so much. She was the way better option, and he just Jane.
I mean,
Sucks.
yeah, but Jane like.
I think they tried too hard with like the girl bossing, and they just made her annoying.
I think I like her enough. I think she gets a little worse in 2, but that's just because
Yeah.
Thor 2 is
I mean,
terrible.
I already hated her
Yeah,
enough.
Thor
then
2
I
is
was
just-
like, shut the fuck
Yeah.
up.
Thor
Stop
2 is
talking.
just bad, so like that doesn't help anything.
That's
And then-
another one that I was like, why do people also hate this? I was like, this isn't that bad either. Not like they're not amazing movies. The ones that like the Hulk movie wasn't amazing. It's not my favorite movie. Thor 2 wasn't amazing, but I just don't understand why people like
well, like all right,
hate them so much.
it's just it's boring. It is uninteresting. Nothing that's happening is all that like engaging. The
I-
best part of the movie is Loki. in both, basically.
I think also with Thor 2, like the only thing that movie accomplishes is it sets up and introduces the ether.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing else really super matters from Thor 2. So like the movie as a whole, you're like,
I mean, matters about his mother.
yeah, for his whatever.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the whole movie, you know what I mean? Like it has some of the like least important stuff.
I do think it has solid banter, like character banter. Like the character interactions I think are solid.
Mm-hmm.
But like everything else around that is
I'm
not that great.
really upset that his posse they just go away.
Sure do.
I liked them.
Taika Waititi was like, anyway, get rid of them.
Also, what the fuck? I don't know if you guys noticed, but what's the character's name? Hold on, let me find him. Hold on.
I do think it was funny though, because after Ragnarok, because Lady Sif's actress couldn't be in the movie because of like scheduling conflicts. So the Warriors 3 die, and then Lady Sif's like actress on Twitter when the movie came out was like, well, Sif's probably still around. I didn't see her die. And she was like, so if anyone wants to call me back,
I
I'm
am
here.
available.
That's funny.
That is funny.
Which, hey man, more props to you. Just be busy so you can't die, and that way you can come back.
If I can't be physically there to be written off.
Fandral, one of the guys in
Zachary Levi.
yes, but he wasn't originally. He was a different dude. Did you notice that?
But they have a bunch of casting changes, especially from Phase 1 movies.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a few that changed. Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
But I love Zachary Levi,
Thunderbolt Ross is going to be the one.
and that's why.
God, imagine loving Zachary Levi. Couldn't be me.
What?
He's a piece of shit.
Why?
Yeah, he's
Wait,
apparently
don't tell me.
a terrible
Don't tell me.
person.
Don't tell me. Don't ruin it for me. Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Well, he's apparently a terrible person.
Like he's just rude, or
Yeah.
like worse things.
I-
Enough that I should know, or is he just rude to people and I can keep
This
and
guy.
I can keep the
I-
name alive in my head.
He just looks like a piece of shit.
Yeah, no,
His face annoys
He's
me.
apparently just like a real piece of shit.
But like in what way? Like again, like rude or like things I need to know about because I need to stop loving him.
I'll look at it. I can't remember. I can't remember if it's anything past just being a piece of shit.
Damn.
Like crimes, or he's just
Yeah,
not
I
nice.
can't
Like,
remember.
that's what
why.
I-
That's why I don't want to say
that's what
anything
I
because I
need to
can't
know.
remember
Right.
if there is like
Right.
S-related crimes. or
Yeah.
not.
Right, of course.
Because I needed. I mean, he keeps getting hired, so I feel like if it was crimes, he would, especially with Disney.
I was gonna
you
say,
say that,
especially
but
with- no,
it-
just-
Hollywood's still
With
kind of.
Disney,
I mean, yes,
no,
but I
Disney
feel like-
would cut that off.
Well, he's not in the Disney movies anymore. He's in
no,
DC.
he's in DC now. He's Shazam.
What? No, he's Tangled. He's
Oh,
He's,
well, yeah, but that came out.
Flynn Rider.
Yeah, but that stuff did.
But that was
this stuff
before.
didn't come out till after.
no, but the TV show, like he's still actively.
No,
doing
but I mean,
stuff
he's
with
not.
Disney.
Oh, because like I thought once he was with Shazam, like with DC,
No, he's
he
still
departed
doing.
from.
Nope, he's.
I'm surprised that they would hire him because
No,
I feel
he's
like
still with. Nope.
DC and like MCU, right, in terms of like their
I
movies
think
or
it's
whatever.
because.
Oh, right. Okay, so two things. A, he's mostly just a piece of shit.
Okay.
Apparently, he's an egotistical fuck. And also, he was saying like not supporting the SAG strike.
Oh, interesting.
So he was also trying to be a scab. So
Got it.
Zachary Levi sucks.
All right. Well, I'm gonna keep it in my head that since it's not crimes, I'm gonna keep the fantasy alive in my head because it doesn't matter anyways. He's just a random celebrity,
Right.
so as long as it's not crimes. But because I've loved him since he was in Chuck. When the fuck did Chuck come out? Like 20 years ago.
He also ruined Shazam.
I don't know. But anyways, side note. So Fandral was a different guy in the first movie, and then in the second one, all of a sudden Zachary Levi was at the table, and I was like, "Why the fuck is Zachary Levi here?" And then I thought he was just a random guard, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of weird." And then Ryan was like, that's Fandral. Like, he's in his posse. And I'm like, that's not. I was like, that was a whole ass different dude. He's the like French looking one. I was like, that was a whole ass different dude. I was like, it was not Zachary Levi. I'd know if it was Zachary.
I would have noticed the first time around.
And it definitely wasn't. And then afterwards I looked it up, and then apparently like the first guy had like cast, like he was in something. So Zachary
like
Levi,
scheduling conflicts.
So Zachary Levi was supposed to be Fandral in the first one, but he had scheduling conflicts. And then they hired the other one. But then in the second one, the other one had scheduling conflicts. So then they invited Zachary Levi back to be
so
Fandral.
funny.
But then they get rid of the posse anyways. So it doesn't even matter who would then.
Right. Would have continued on.
So it didn't even fucking matter. But I knew it because I was like, I would have noticed him.
Right.
So I just noticed that it was like a whole different ass dude. But different note, not Zachary Levi. In Hulk, his love interest is Betty.
Betty Ross, yeah.
Yeah. I liked her. I liked her a lot. So I was upset to find out that did not continue. They didn't bring her in and everything. And then all of a sudden, Black Widow is like the love interest. Hate that. I don't like it. It's like weird to me. It seems like out of the blue.
It was fine. The only problem, the biggest problem with it is that she equates, or not that she equates. The movie makes her equate getting a hysterectomy.
For herself?
That's the thing, right? Where you can't, like, they like take out your ovaries and whatnot.
Yeah, that's a hysterectomy.
Where they equate getting a hysterectomy to being the
a
Hulk.
monster.
Yeah, to
She
being a
says,
monster.
I'm a monster too.
Like,
I was like, what?
And again, not her.
She was like,
the
so we should-
movie makes that point that like getting a hysterectomy makes
What
you
a-
as much of a
forced,
monster as
a
Hulk.
forced
take.
one too.
Yeah.
Like not a like a they forced this.
Yeah,
on her.
in Avengers 2.
Yeah, what
It's
a
just like-
terrible fucking take.
It was
what?
so weird.
I don't remember
It-
that.
it was
I
really
believe you, but
it was
like,
really
Yeah, it's when they're
weird.
at the house and
Uh-huh.
she's like, they're like kind of flirting,
Right.
And Bruce is like, do the math. I can't have kids. Like this doesn't work. And she's like, that's fine. I can't either.
right.
And then like it goes, and she's like, so you think you're the only one that's like a monster? And you're like,
And he doesn't say that doesn't make you a monster. Like he doesn't
the
clarify.
movie doesn't. Yeah, like the movie
Yeah.
is like, yeah, that makes her as much of a monster as him. And you're like,
like they do
Excuse
not
me?
like they don't specifically say that, but
Right,
they
but
also
it's
don't
implied.
clarify.
yeah, it is heavily
because
implied that having a hysterectomy,
That's a
an
good point.
involuntary
That's a
hysterectomy,
good
is the
point that
same
they
level as having the
don't
Hulk.
Clarify that because in I don't know if it was
Joss Whedon
in-
sucks.
I don't know if it was in
That's a crazy take. Oh my god.
I don't know if it was in Captain America, but at some point she's talking about how she was shot by the
Peggy?
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that's
and
in
she has like a,
Captain America 2.
Yeah, how she has a scar, and she's like, "Buy bikinis," and then Chris Evans is like, "Yeah, I'm sure you look fucking terrible."
Yeah, she's like, bye bikinis. He goes,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure you look terrible. in
Yeah,
one.
he says that. So they make sure to like, you know, like that's kind of cleared up, being like,
Right.
no, you'll still look
Yeah, you'll
good
be
even though
fine.
you have
Right,
this scar.
right.
But they don't clear up
That's
the fact
crazy.
that she is not a monster.
Because Joss Whedon
Yeah.
sucks.
Oh my god, that's
God.
such a good point. But anyways,
Does
back
Josh
to
Whedon hate women? I don't understand.
Oh, Joss Whedon's a terrible person.
really.
Oh my god.
Huge piece of shit. That's why he doesn't do anything anymore.
I guess that's fair. I feel like I don't hear his name very often.
Terrible person. For a lot of reasons.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked her, so then I was upset, and then when they did that whole thing, and I kind of thought that she was gonna be with Captain America, so then, and I thought
That is
was
sometimes
like-
a story,
that
but
was a slow burn, and I liked that. I thought that there was more to that than all of a
Yeah.
sudden with Hulk. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
I was
like,
like, what the fuck is this? But now,
Steve and Natasha are sometimes a story. Natasha is usually though with Bucky. And,
What?
in the comics.
uh-oh.
And,
Where are we going?
Because
I feel
like
like I
super
could-
spy.
I was gonna say I feel
guess
like
that
I
makes
could
sense.
see
Yeah.
Nat being with Bucky
I just
more
haven't seen them interact.
than her.
Yeah,
being
in the
with
comics,
Steve.
they're like
Well,
on
I've
and off when,
just
depending on
seen
who's
them
writing.
interact
Right.
in the movie.
Of
I'm
course.
like,
'Cause they
yeah,
have
I
good
like their
on-screen chemistry.
Exactly. I'm like, I could. Yeah, that
and then
works.
in the comics, it's usually always Steve and Sharon. Mm-hmm. So usually, I mean, you know, depending on who the fuck wants to write a story.
Right, of
now they're
Sharon's
adding
like non-existent in the MCU.
They're
though.
adding Betty.
They also ruined Sharon.
They're adding Betty.
What, in the new movie?
They're adding Betty into something. They're adding Betty and General Ross.
Well, General Ross came up before he was around.
I know, but they're adding Betty. So what's happening
they're
now?
Adding her into what? New Order? Whatever the fuck that movie's called now?
I don't know where they're
Captain
adding
America
her.
4, probably.
I
It's the only one that would make sense.
I just heard she's being added. So how does that work? Is it just going to be kind of like that other Hulk movie where she's with another guy, but instead of the cheating, she'll just be with the other guy and they'll just have the past and then he'll just be with Natasha?
Other Hulk movie?
Yeah, the one I was talking about that I watched.
The one with Edward Norton.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she went back to him.
Yes, so I'm just talking about.
Well,
they just don't do the cheating, and he'll just still be with Natasha, and they'll just have a past.
No, well, because they're not.
I don't
They're
understand.
not even really together.
I don't understand.
Natasha.
Who's gonna be with Natasha? She's not even around anymore.
Natasha, yeah. A, she's not around. B,
that's true.
B, they
That's
didn't really
true.
ever have a thing. It was like two ships that missed their time, and they was never gonna really hit each other anyway.
Also, like Natasha,
Because both of them are so obstinate about not being with each other anyway.
Wait, Natasha and the Hulk?
Yeah.
Wait, so they don't end up together? It's just like that movie, and then that's
You
it?
saw the entire culmination of their arcs.
That's it?
They have Avengers.
I have so many movies
They have
left.
Avengers.
I don't know what the fuck
Avengers
happened.
2.
their relationship is like literally this big,
And then
in the grand
yeah, like
scheme
Avengers
of
2,
Avengers,
and
MCU.
then Infinity War.
I don't know.
That's the three
But
movies you
I
get of
wasn't
them.
thinking about it. Like, I didn't know
and
that
then
there
a little
wasn't
bit.
anything
There's like
left.
acknowledgement in Endgame.
Well, yeah,
When-
but
when
there's
we-
the
when we
acknowledgement
first
in
see
Endgame,
Professor
and
Hulk.
then there's acknowledgement in Thor Ragnarok, but the acknowledgement is the video that plays at the end of Thor 2.
Right.
I mean, Avengers 2.
Right, I know what you mean.
So, like, you get 3 movies.
I wasn't
Their relationship and most
So that's even weirder.
most relationships within the MCU, like, they are about this important.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Steve and Peggy, which they want to beat you over the head with
And-
until you actually hate seeing both of their faces.
And then
on
technically
screen.
Tony and Pepper, because even when Gwyneth Paltrow didn't want to be in the movies anymore.
Oh, true. Yeah, Tony and Pepper as
Tony
well.
was still hung up about Pepper. And so you still hear about Pepper even when she's no longer in the movies. And then she didn't come back until Homecoming?
Yeah, the end of Homecoming.
End
we
of
see
Homecoming is
her.
the first time you see Gwyneth Paltrow, Pepper
Since
again
Iron
since
Man 3?
Iron Man 3.
Oh.
It was like years.
Yeah.
Because Avengers 2, they were like, what about you and Peggy? And he's like, all right, I mean, you and Pepper. And he's like,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay. But yeah.
Okay.
So
Don't expect to be like, oh my God, what rewarding, fulfilling romance storylines. It's not going to
Right.
happen.
Okay.
yeah.
It's not going to happen.
I'm trying to
sorry.
like think of anyone that has a solid romance.
The
at all.
only people who have a
I guess
good romance is Wanda and Vision, and they really just said, you know what? We haven't seen them in a hot minute, but they're in a relationship, and you just got to
Okay,
go
wait.
with it.
I was gonna
wait,
say
wait.
Peter and MJ, but then they cut that shit out too.
Exactly.
Wait, okay, so for Wanda and Vision, because I didn't know who the fuck Vision was, but I knew that they were together. But obviously now I know who Vision is.
Right.
So, oh my god, I didn't know who Vision was. Going and seeing
Infinity War
without knowing who Vision is and how important of a character he is.
No, I
That's
literally had
actually
no
crazy.
idea. Literally,
Yo,
zero idea.
who's this random dude that transforms that's banging Wanda? What's up with this shit?
But I also didn't know who Wanda was, so
Oh my God. I guess if you'd never watched Age of Ultron, you wouldn't.
I didn't. I had
But
no
that's-
idea. I also, when they
This
said
is an
Age of
insane
Ultron, I
viewing
also didn't know who
experience.
Ultron was. I didn't know what Age of Ultron meant.
She didn't see Civil War, so like
Yeah.
I never saw an Avengers movie. I didn't like.
Civil War's not even Avengers.
It's not.
I know, but it's kind of.
Yeah, it's like an Avengers light.
Light.
yeah. Like I know it's not. It's
Right.
Captain
it's
America.
not like an Avengers main title
Jesus.
movie.
Yeah,
Christ.
but it basically.
Yeah, but That's crazy. I didn't know who Vision was. Okay, so now that you know who Vision is,
Wait, but
what was your question?
The fact that okay. Also, wait. I have so many things. So many like.
We're going
things
about as in order with this conversation as she did watching these movies.
But that's how
Yeah.
my brain is working. So, even though I literally just have been watching this in
People
order,
are gonna
and
be
we
watching this
could be
episode
going this-
being like, "What the fuck are they talking about?" It's like, yeah, that's what that's Kat's experience of the MCU is
yeah.
us in this conversation.
Yeah. They're gonna have to make the map in their house to follow what the fuck
They're
is
gonna
going
they're
on.
gonna need the one piece map of all the
Yes.
houses, the 3 houses.
Also, very angry that they killed Quicksilver. Was so upset. I couldn't believe that they did
Well,
that.
originally it was gonna be Hawkeye, which if the movie kind of makes it very clear that it was gonna be him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they just didn't because the last minute, it was written that way.
Well,
but last minute
I
Disney was
heard-
like, no.
I heard that they had to kill Quicksilver because they wanted to make a Quicksilver movie. So they didn't have
MCU?
they didn't have the rights or whoever.
No.
owns
So
him
the
or
Quicksilver
something.
and Wanda, for whatever reason, were like in a weird thing that they could be used by either.
Yeah,
and-
but they needed him, so they said you could use him for the movie, but you have to kill him or something.
How I always heard it was that they were gonna kill Hawkeye, and then they got like cold feet at the last second, and they were like, "Who the fuck can we kill instead?" And they were like, "Quicksilver. He's the only one that would be able to
I
save
like
him."
how they had to kill somebody. They
Well,
couldn't
because they
just
needed stakes.
Not. They had to kill
No, they
somebody.
needed like stakes. Somebody has to die.
I don't know. I guess I'll look it up again, but
Quicksilver dying is good for Wanda's development, though. So like,
yeah.
Realistically, he wasn't a very interesting Quicksilver anyway.
no.
I mean,
And
he just doesn't
not
have
that the man
time.
had literally a chance. He was
Yeah,
on
like he
screen for
literally
like 3
didn't
minutes.
have time. But that's why also with hearing that, he was gonna have his own movie and whatever, then I was like, all right, I guess it's for the better good of his character that he's
Who
gonna
knows?
get
That might
his
be
moment.
true. Fox was just
'Cause, yeah,
throwing
But
anything
if
at a
Fox
wall.
was doing a Quicksilver movie, which would very much surprise me that they would decide to do like a solo movie for
Would it?
Quicksilver.
well,
He did the best in the other movies.
No, but I'm saying like, but wouldn't it be they would use Evan Peters, not this other guy?
Yeah, no, they
Ryan
would.
said that there was supposed to be Quicksilver was supposed to get his own thing. They said that you can use both for this movie. You can use both, and you can have Wanda because they didn't know that she was going to blow up as a character.
Okay, so
they didn't.
right.
Yeah, they didn't expect it, so they were like,
They
you
were
can
like,
have
nobody
the-
cares about women.
Exactly.
So have
Like
her.
they didn't. Yeah, and they said that, but you have to kill Quicksilver because we want.
We want him for
still.
our
yeah.
movie.
So
Got
you
ya.
can use him because you
And
know
look
you
how
need
that ended
to-
up for them.
Exactly. But we need him.
We
for
support
our-
Wanda in this house.
Yeah, but we need him for our shit.
Okay, but back to what your original
Yeah,
question
yeah,
was
yeah.
going to be.
Okay. How the fuck do they? I mean, I guess I'll see how they end up together, right? So I shouldn't even ask this. I should just wait.
You're watching Civil War next.
Doesn't happen in that?
It will happen.
I'll find out tonight.
You will find out tonight,
All
and
right.
you're gonna be like,
Because I find that so fucking bizarre.
when I tell you, you're just gonna be like, oh, all right, because it's literally just here it is.
All right. Okay. It's just here.
I will say though, like even though they do really just drop the ball on like any like beginning, like we get like the little snippet from Age of Ultron where they're like, oh, whatever.
He saves her.
So we get that little snippet in Age of
It's so
Ultron,
weird.
and then they just hard drop you into them like off screen
Yeah.
had developed their relationship.
It's so weird.
But
Like,
it
I don't
is
know.
it. I think Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen has really good chemistry together.
Mm-hmm.
So like, even though like the setup is stupid, it does work.
Okay.
Like you can kind of forget about the weak setup because they work together very
Yeah.
well on screen.
Well, I heard that WandaVision is like amazing.
It is.
Yeah, it's so good.
The only thing bad about it is the ending.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do the Disney fucking giant CGI fight thing.
Oh, okay.
But so at least from what I could find in terms of news on like what the fuck's up with Quicksilver in the MCU, it was basically Joss Whedon wanted Hawkeye to die, and they were like, you cannot kill one of the established characters. But so you had two versions of the movie: one where Quicksilver lives in case Disney wanted to use him more, and one where they swap it out and he dies and Hawkeye
But so there's
lives.
nothing about a Quicksilver.
Basically, it was
movie?
that most of the speculation is that because Fox was already using them, Disney was probably just unlikely to want to, like, wouldn't care to keep him around or not. because he's already being used by somebody else. And so it's mostly speculated that like they were like, either Quicksilver can live or he can die. Which do you want? And they were like, we're not killing off Hawkeye. When Fox is already using Quicksilver, we don't give a fuck about him. So go ahead, kill him.
Oh.
Not killing off Hawkeye was such a smart move on their end, though.
Yeah.
The Hawkeye show is fucking one of my favorites
Yeah,
shows.
and I think, but also like
Actually, it is my favorite
probably
show.
after that, they were like, we should probably use him a little more effectively than not at all.
I also just really like Jeremy Renner as like a person.
Yeah, I've never heard anything bad about him.
He seems cool.
He did have that little mental breakdown for a hot second, but
he
like
actually saved somebody's life. Real life superhero.
true, it fucked him up royally.
The
Yeah.
snowmobile
Yeah.
situation. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That shit's
but
crazy.
The only real life superhero out of them. So.
but yeah, so Hawkeye's great. I love Hawkeye so much. Like the show, it's so fucking good. Also because it has Haley Steinfeld in it.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's that.
Who's she? The daughter?
No,
Kate Bishop. She's like Hawkeye too.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they're just both Hawkeye. There's like a whole bit about that in the comics where it's like, oh, is it like Lady Hawkeye? Is it Hawkeye Gal or whatever? And they're like, no, just Hawkeye. And someone's like, really, Clint? Why the hell did you let her do that? And he's like, because she's just as good. She deserves the name. But yeah, she's just like a person that idolized him.
Mm-hmm.
And she's fantastic. There's also a great chemistry between her and Florence Pugh's
Yelena.
White Widow. Yeah, Yelena.
That's the sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like a great dynamic. It's genuinely really fun. Very excited for hopefully a season 2 of
Oh,
that
I've
show.
also seen the end of Black Widow because that was on my cruise. Like it was just on at the end. So it was just on the TVs because that's how I know who her character is.
Oh.
That movie would have been so much better if it came out like 5 years prior. Imagine if that movie actually came out before she fucking dies in Infinity War.
She dies in Endgame.
Sorry. Sorry, Endgame.
It's okay. But anyway, them putting out like, because wasn't that basically right after Endgame where they were like,
Essentially.
Black Widow movie? What? I remember when all that promo was coming out for the Black Widow movie. I was like, did you guys not watch the movie you made?
Yeah,
Hello?
It was just like
How stupid could you be?
It was so little too late.
Why are you giving me a character? Like, not even the movie isn't even like, oh, here's the introduction to Black Widow, but it's like, oh, everything important you want to know about her backstory. Here's some of it, and now we'll fill the rest of the movie with random bullshit.
It's
garbage.
literally like, hey, do you want to feel? Would you have wanted to feel more bad about her dying in Endgame? Here's
you
the
go.
movie, and it's like, well, I would have felt more bad about it if it came out before Endgame.
Did it have delays, or they really just made it afterwards?
No, just Disney was like a movie about a woman.
No, because pre Captain Marvel, the MCU
There wasn't
and
one
like
woman.
and Marvel, they only had really Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, right? And then they did Captain Marvel, but before that, they literally like refused.
Literally,
to do, like,
the
a
only reason they
mainline
started
female
talking
movie.
about it is because of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman did so good in box offices because
like shit.
Like,
studios
somehow-
were like,
We
holy
should do
shit,
that.
what if we make a female-led superhero movie that isn't complete fucking ass,
Yeah.
like an actual good movie, regardless that it's female-led, people will go see it and give us money.
Yeah, like somehow it was like people were like, we should get a Black Widow movie. We should get a Black Widow movie. And then Wonder Woman came out and they were like, oh, maybe we should do a Black Widow movie. It was like, oh, yeah, really? And then it still took them like 4 years.
Oh my god.
5 years. Like, whatever the fuck the distance between Wonder Woman. Because it just like, it was just so little
when
too
was
late.
Black Widow? Like 2019,
I'm pulling it up right
2020,
now. 2021.
2021.
Same
Wonder
year
Woman came out in
as-
2015.
Yeah.
Damn.
15?
Didn't it?
So it took them 6 years.
I'm fairly
God.
confident it was 15.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Because the DC
17.
Awful.
17, sorry.
Okay.
But
Not too
still,
bad.
that's crazy.
That's
Still.
not too bad because to produce a movie.
But they should have been making it.
Yeah,
They
before-
should have-
yeah,
That
don't-
woman, a Black Widow
absolutely.
movie should have came out
Absolutely.
before Wonder Woman was even a thought.
Black
Yes,
Widow should
absolutely.
have happened
But 2
in
years
phase
isn't
2.
too bad from
Yeah,
that coming
Black
out
Widow-
and then being
yeah.
like
Black Widow is a
Woman.
phase 2 movie.
Yeah.
It should have been, she was introduced in Iron Man 2. She gets a movie.
Yeah.
She's introduced. We see her as part of the core Avengers in the first Avengers movie.
And then gets a
Then
movie.
she gets her own standalone movie.
Yeah, like
and
being
then you
one
go
of the
into
main
Age of
Avengers,
Ultron.
and then she doesn't get fucking shit.
Yeah. Like, it just, like, they just didn't, like, for some fucking reason. And, like, it's just so stupid.
It's complete, and it's so funny to me too, because especially like in her introduction into in Iron Man 2, and even really in the first Avengers movie, like they so underutilize her character. Like she's so obviously just there to be sex appeal. Like the outfit they give her, the suit, the curled hair, the styling, everything. I'm like, you guys aren't even hiding your intentions.
Tell me if this bothered you, because I doubt Mike even noticed. Did it bother you?
Sorry.
Did it bother you that I don't know which movie it was. I think it's one of maybe Captain America 2. When
She has the really straight hair in 2.
Yeah, I think it's that one. When
like long bob, right?
When her and Cap show up at Falcon's place, because they were all like beat up and disheveled and everything.
Right.
They have nothing. They're just showing up. Like there was a bomb explosion.
Okay.
They're all fucked up,
coming in empty-handed.
Yes. And then they shower. Whatever. She has texture in her wet hair, and then it's dry and fucking pin straight.
Maybe she straightened it.
With what?
In Falcon's home?
His luscious
maybe.
locks has a hair
himself?
straightener?
Yeah,
Maybe you don't know. He might be a guy that has stuff around for women.
No. Where's your hair straightener, Mike? Can I use it?
I have a blow dryer.
That's not the same.
Where's your
Your hair will not be that straight with a blow
Mike?
dryer.
I did own one.
Just because you have tampons in this household does not mean that you have a hair straightener.
I did have
She
one.
also has makeup on, and I'm like, I know Falcon does not have makeup in his home for her to use.
So what's interesting to me is as like the MCU evolves, because like I was saying, like OG Scarlet Black Widow, like her character in especially like phase 1, phase 2, she doesn't really get to be like a person until phase 3. But like the female characters, even Peggy in Captain America, she's just there to be gorgeous, Steve's love interest, and being like, it's the 1940s and I'm a bad bitch.
Yeah.
But like that's really all we get, you know? Like they do such a poor job, and then like with every
She
single
decks a guy.
She does, but like, come on. They do a poor job writing the females, and they do a poor job disguising that they are just there to be like sex appeal for young boys to be like, oh, they're attractive, so I like them. Like they didn't think they needed to add any depth.
Yeah.
And that whole thing of like her hair came out pin straight, makeup on, stuff like that.
Did you notice?
There's
I
no
mean,
way. There's no way.
I mean, her hair was fine. Like, that's why. So
no,
it's like,
he didn't.
I know, exactly.
well, yeah, but like,
Exactly. But the thing is-
what about like? I feel like it's.
This is things
Ryan
that
didn't
men
notice.
don't think about, though.
Yeah, and
But
like,
they
don't
I was
think about-
complaining.
my
you don't
point is
come
that
out of
so
the
many
shower.
movies do that though.
Okay,
and
that's
it's a
still not a
problem
good
for
thing.
all of them.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I was like,
Because
it's-
this whole
actors
idea
come out of
that-
fucking water, and then
It
5
doesn't-
seconds later they're
yeah,
like
it
perfect.
doesn't make sense. That, like, because so she's out of the shower, she doesn't have makeup on, and like she has the texture in her hair. Right, makes sense. She came out of the shower. But then afterwards, she's all just her normal, done up, perfect, sexy. Like, it does not make sense.
She's
they
a
were
super
in
spy. She's got go bags everywhere.
But she
There was
doesn't.
one down
they
the
were
street.
in a
There was one down the street in a mailbox that
and
she
then
had
it's like,
ready.
if it is that, then fucking show it. Show how fucking prepared she is, because
But also,
like,
I
it's
feel
dumb.
like Natasha being a super spy, like her go bag, I feel like would be absolute essentials.
yeah, hair
And-
straightener, makeup.
But no, because
That's
I
it.
feel like Natasha really wouldn't care about those things. Only when she is fronting and trying to impress men.
Yeah.
Like she shows up into Tony Stark's office wearing that like skin tight little pencil skirt little office dress and the fucking 5-inch stiletto heels. She knows what she's doing. She's not a
Yeah.
fucking idiot, you know? But I think the whole thing of like she comes out of the shower looking like she came out of a shower, and then you cut to the
2
next
seconds.
scene.
Yeah, literally.
And
then
she
it's
is
done up.
completely done
Like
up.
you can't just have her. She's beautiful on her own.
Yeah, but
Like,
I think a large part of it is men do not think about, okay, how do women get from point A to point B? They're
they
like,
probably don't even notice she's wearing makeup now. Like,
when I tell you, so many men will look at women's pictures and be like, yeah, she's not wearing any makeup.
It's so
Full
fucking
beat.
stupid.
Full beat is on.
so fucking
Like,
stupid.
it's actually infuriating. I'm like, use one brain cell.
Use
to
one eye. Just
really
like
think
squint
about
at
what you're
her
saying.
And you can see, like, it makes
It's
me
crazy,
so
yeah.
angry because I was just like, she doesn't even need the makeup, so
It's Scarlett Johansson.
I know. So like, she could have just existed without it. Like,
But not only that, like, I think
guess
if you
doing-
wanted to, if
doing
you were
that.
going to cut to her already being done up, make it in a different location. Like, they went somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, we
It
cleaned
was a
ourselves up.
kitchen. They went to a kitchen.
We cleaned ourselves up. We had the time to be out in public and ready.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve's hair looks like he's gelled up and shit.
Falcon could have gel there.
He could have a straightener.
He could. Falcon has no hair.
He could have it for his ladies.
How many ladies he's got?
You don't know. Falcon could be laying pipe.
Okay,
Here's
well
the
then
thing.
he
A
should
man
say,
who has
hey,
multi-
Natasha, I've got a straightener in there and some makeup if you want to use
That's
it.
an unnecessary scene that would be cut.
A
No,
man who
it's
has
necessary to
multiple
me.
ladies, a revolving door of ladies,
That doesn't
definitely
even
will
seem
not
like
have
his
those
character.
things because he doesn't care. You show up, you do whatever you're doing, you leave.
He seems like a guy that would care.
If he has
seems like one that
long-term
wouldn't-
partner,
Yeah.
I could understand those products being in his home. If he lives completely by himself and he doesn't have a partner,
Which
I
isn't
don't
that
see
stated he
him
lives alone?
having those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying,
So
he could
if
be a
he had
thoughtful guy.
long thumbs,
Maybe he
he
has
might
tampons in his
stop.
bathroom. Maybe
If
he has
he
hair
had-
straightener.
if they were like, oh yeah, my girlfriend, she like basically lives here.
Yeah, you can get ready
Throwaway line.
and use this stuff
Like, I don't think she would mind,
It's the-
even though
the
could you
strongest nitpick on the planet.
imagine though if like a guy was like, oh yeah, you can use my girlfriend's makeup.
yeah, like you're gonna get
Random
an
products.
eye, like a sty, because you can use her fucking
Yeah,
stuff.
use her mascara and
Yeah.
eyeliner. Go for it, dude.
This
I'm sure that
stranger.
foundation will match.
But wouldn't a man say that?
Oh, absolutely, because they don't know.
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it would fit. Like it literally would fit. So I don't
Thanks
know.
for joining us on this week's episode of the Vaguely Anime Podcast.
Oh my god.
But yeah, let us know how your MCU watching experience continues, and
Yeah.
if the impact of Infinity War
Oh, wait.
and Endgame
This is-
changes once
This
you
is
get
what
all
I was
the
gonna
context.
say earlier, and I think I got
Can't
cut
wait
off.
for you to watch Deadpool and Wolverine and have nothing to do with any of the stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like, what did I
You're
do
gonna
all
be
this
like, why'd I do all
for?
that homework
Yeah,
for?
literally, what did I do all this homework for?
She's studying and it's not even on the test.
Literally. And the things that I didn't study for is on the test. Yes. I'm like, who is that? What was that?
Of course.
But the thing that I was gonna say is from the random things that I have seen, there will be stuff that happens in these movies, and I'll point them out and I'll say this. I'll be like, oh, is this this? Oh, is this that?
Right.
That. Because I have seen these like random things.
You
Like
just
when I
watched,
was watching.
you picked at random phase 3
No,
movies
because
to
when I
watch.
was watching Age of Ultron, and Vision's eyes flashed on the screen, I was just like, "That's that dude."
That's that guy who I don't know.
And I was like, the pink dude. I was like, that's the dude. And I was just like, what's
That's
he
the
doing?
dude banging the girl I don't know.
Exactly. I was like, what's up with that? I was like, was that him? I was like, what was that? And
Oh
then
my God.
Ryan's like, what? Nothing. What are you talking about? It's like, don't worry about it. Keep watching the movie. Because he's like, why are you picking up on this one flash? It was a flash because it's in Thor's.
Right,
like,
right. It's like the Vision.
Yeah, he's in that water.
Yeah.
Like, he had the vision of Vision. Like, random things like that. A tiny little thing. When they're going to Hawkeye's house, it's a view of the house. And I'm like, that house was in Endgame or Infinity War. I don't remember
Oh
which
my
one it
God.
was.
In Endgame,
Yeah.
it opens with
Endgame.
his
And,
house.
and I was just like, oh, where? Because the ship just shows up. They
Right.
haven't showed whose house. I was like, that house was there. I was like, who's
You're like,
this?
that place looks awfully familiar.
Yeah, like little things like that keeps happening, and he's like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, why are
Jesus
you remembering
Christ.
the tiniest?"
I
detail?"
just like picture you watching Age of Ultron. You see Clint's house, and you're like, oh yeah, that's where that guy lost his whole family.
That guy.
Dude, I don't know. That guy.
I was just thinking about it. Does Deadpool 3 go into the Fox ranking list also? Because it is an MCU movie.
I guess
Doesn't it stay Fox as well, though?
I guess it would have to depend how heavily MCU it is. Because if it's just sprinklings...
Like, is it going to be in 2 lists?
No, because I think if it's sprinklings of MCU, but like it's primarily the Fox franchise, I think you could keep it within just Fox. You know what I mean?
But it is
No,
entirely
it's MCU.
entirely a Marvel MCU made movie.
Yeah, he's finally MCU now.
Okay, so Fox has no involvement.
No. Because
At
they started
all.
making the movie after the buyout.
Oh.
But but like everything about the character, all the characters in the prior movies are all Fox related.
Mm-hmm.
So like, does it still get put in the Fox list?
I can see it being both.
Yeah, I guess in that case you could put it in both.
It ends up in both.
Yeah.
Because if it is a MCU product, but everything that's in the product is
Started in the
Fox.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see when we go to watch it.
Yeah.
Which will be interesting. That movie seems like it's gonna be a wild time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it.
Same. All right, we're gonna end there.
Okay.
This episode totally didn't make any sense.
Like my brain.
Yeah. Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Vaguely Landed Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, follow. Check out Kat the Moonstar on Twitch. And you have 2 weeks to watch Carol and Tuesday.
It's not supposed to be next week. Oh, no, because it's double recording. Ignore me. Sorry.
2 weeks to watch Carol and Tuesday.
I switched it up.
So, get on that. 24 episodes, Netflix. Have fun. It's great.
It's 24 episodes, not 12.
Sure is.
Don't make the same mistake as Kat.
Yeah, you need some time.
Yeah, so see you guys next week for whatever it is we talk about.
Bye.
Bye.